Leftovers is an American television show that ran from 2014 to 2017, and it's an amazing show. I would even say it's downright incredible. And as I'm moving through my analysis of the television show Lost, I realize I have to discuss Leftovers to get to my conclusions on Lost. Leftovers honestly gave me so much closure for Lost. It's an amazingly cathartic show for that reason, and for lots of reasons that I'll get into. I don't think it's any stretch to say that Leftovers is the spiritual successor to Lost. I think it was Damon Lindelof making good on his promises of Lost, and he does it with total success. If you haven't seen Leftovers, I'd highly recommend checking it out. And if you are a Lost fan and haven't seen Leftovers, you need to watch Leftovers. Now, to do this right, I need to talk about Leftovers in its entirety, warts and all. And this is the hard sell on Leftovers. Leftovers starts off terribly. It's borderline unwatchable. It's so tone deaf and uninteresting, you're probably going to want to stop watching it. And to best explain this, I really need to go through the pilot episode just to show you what we're working with here. So we start off getting to know this mother figure. I mean, I get it. She's upset. She's got to do the thing. And then suddenly the event happens. It kind of surprises you and comes at you pretty quick. Kid's gone, you're missing your kid. It's kind of exciting. It's done in an interesting way. God, that car slam, look at that. Oh, that poor kid actor. So we start off getting to meet Kevin, and Kevin isn't that interesting. We know he's a cop. We know he's Justin Theroux, and he lives in this small town that has people in it. So one of the things that they really try to push through this entire episode is this idea of dogs, and how dogs would be affected by this entire event, but there's no symbolism behind the dogs. The dogs represent dogs, which is an odd thing for a thing to represent itself. So off this guy goes, and this is like the mystery. Why did this guy kill this dog? That's how they hope we invest in this story. A lot of the show has people looking in mirrors and looking at themselves, which conjures up the idea of introspection. But the problem is there's nothing to introspect. We understand what the event was, and I guess they're still dealing with it over and over again. So we meet the guilty remnant, and you can tell the showrunners really want us to care about the guilty remnant and what they're doing and what they're up to, but we don't care. We don't know anything about them. I guess they're a weird, mysterious group. It's something like Lindelof is trying to get us involved with them like the others. And the characters are so boring. It's a lot of talking, even though they can't talk. So they're just kind of looking and doing faces like that one and hanging out and waiting for the next scene where something might happen. Hey, is that Buddy Garrity? Oh, they got Buddy Garrity in here. So it's a lot of Kevin just kind of walking around. I guess it's the life of a cop. Isn't that interesting? I mean, I don't even know what we're looking at here. So a great deal of the episode is about this Heroes Day that we're all supposed to be interested in or excited about. And most of the episode is spent with them talking about this event ad nauseum. We understand that the characters are concerned that the guilty remnant might try to shake up the event. But because we don't know, we don't care. So we go to these locations and it's more talking and hanging out. And this scene sums up so much about how I feel about this first season of Leftovers. She's walking up the stairs. He looks over. I mean, that's so ham-fisted. I get it, show. I get it. And they really want us to be invested in this guilty remnant. They want us to care about what they're doing, but most of what they're doing is sitting around and planning the exact same thing the other side is. The other angle of this entire first season is these high schoolers. And these two terrible boys just show up and just start talking shit. What's it with twins? Feels like Lindelof and Berg really want us to invest in this high school story. And it's so terrible and awkward. And those twins are just the worst. They're discussing a party that's going on tonight. And I guess they want us to be invested in this party or care whether they go or not. And we don't. We definitely don't. Oh, Stranger Camus, fuck you. Buddy Garrity. This is the dumbest fucking app I've ever seen in my entire life. I mean, they can't even spin the bottle anymore. They gotta app it up. It reeks of middle-aged men going, what do kids like these days? Spin the bottle, but we gotta make it an app. Yeah. Look at that star animation for fuck. It's cute. This is so awkward. This is entirely awkward watching these children. Oh God, God bless. Take off the socks, man. It's so uncomfortable. It reeks of we're trying to be edgy and in your face with high schoolers, but none of us care. We don't care about these characters, nor do we understand their plight. You know, the twins are doing something, burying something. And they so desperately think that we care about anything that they are doing when they're just horrible, horrible twins. So we finally arrive at Heroes Day. Is that a rabbi? That dude's a bass player, you can feel it. I cannot stress this enough. We keep on repeating the events that we understand happened over and over again. And I understand that the crux of the show is about being unable to get over these events, but when you keep on repeating them, we don't learn anything. And here's Nora, who's a pivotal character in the show, but is introduced so sloppily, I completely forgot she was in the pilot. So basically the entire show, they've told us that there might be some kind of standoff, and there is. I don't know how rewarding that is. The pilot told us what it was going to do, and then it did it. Just the callousness of that throwdown. It just doesn't read the way they want it to. Holy shit, where'd you get that fucking glass? It just comes off so stagey. Kevin's in that bar, then telling the bartender the events that we just watched happen. That is borderline wacky. And again, we understand his feelings towards them. This isn't new information for us, even though it's treating it like it is. So this is the big reveal that these two characters are connected. And you feel nothing towards this information because you don't know either of the characters besides what they want in the immediate future. Tommy doesn't do anything in this episode. He's so forgettable, I forgot he was forgettable. I think what they're aiming for is the dogs show that the world has kind of gone off kilter, but we already understand that by people telling us that over and over again. And the weirdest thing about it is this hard grunge music comes in for this ending. I don't know if it's supposed to be badass or heroic or sad, but I feel nothing for any of it. Fuck you. So that pilot by itself sets up so little. There's so little investment in the show altogether. There's no characters we care about. There's no character arcs we care about. There's no plots that seem interesting to us. Okay, that's the beginning. And I can't stress this enough, this show becomes amazing. Next time, we'll start our deep dive into Season 1.